Savannah was heavily pregnant. She was actually due to give birth that very morning. Instead, she ended up trapped with a man her family considered pure evil. Their past, well, it was full of dangerous conflict. But the final scene officers discovered inside that car, it shocked even those who thought they were prepared for the worst. The unnatural way they were found. It completely destroys the investigation's first theory. It suggests a third person was involved. The chilling part, though, the specific item that went missing from the vehicle along with them leaves us staring into true darkness. Hey guys, what's up? It's Tom. You are on my channel, and yeah, you probably kind of know the drill by now, but I wanted to jump in here real quick and talk to you like for real this time. So I have been going back and forth for a long time. Like, do I keep this podcast thing going? Do I just drop it? And I finally was like, you know what? Screw it. I am going to keep doing it, but this time with my own voice. And I got to be straight with you. Before this, I was not using AI or anything. I was actually hiring other people to read my scripts, different narrators, voice guys, all that stuff. And at the time, it felt kind of genius to me. Like, yeah, I am an entrepreneur. I am saving time. I am delegating. Why would I not do that, right? But in reality, people are busy. People flake. Some of them start acting weird. And most important, it just did not sound like me at all. So from now on, there is no more stand-in voices. No more random dudes talking for me. It is just me and this mic. What you hear right now is my real current voice. This is actually how I sound. So if you thought I was some super polished radio guy, yeah, sorry to disappoint you. And honestly, I want to apologize for that part too, if you felt like I kind of misled you before. I was not trying to scam anyone. I was just stuck in my head. Like, everything has to be perfect. The voice has to be perfect. The vibe has to be perfect. Full on perfectionist mode. But I get it now. Authenticity matters way more. I would rather sound a little rough and be honest with you than sound perfect and be fake. So yeah, it is me. I am a real person, not a filter, not a voice actor, just Tom talking to you. And if you are cool with that, then let's roll. And now, last thing, I promise, like really the last little request. Please hit subscribe, write in the comments where you are from, what city you are in, and what the weather is like there right now. I want to start doing some random questions in every video because I am honestly just curious who you guys are, who is actually watching me. Tell me, I don't know, your shoe size, or wait, better tell me your pet's name. Or your shoe size, whatever. I do not care. Just write something. So, okay, yeah, please leave a comment, and sorry for bothering you with all this. All right, let's go. So, 18-year-old Savannah Soto. She lived in Leon Valley, Texas. She went missing exactly one day before she was supposed to give birth. Her family raised the alarm on December 23rd. See, she was last seen on the 22nd right at the apartment complex where she lived with her boyfriend, Matthew. Her relatives emphasized she was already a week overdue. That just added to the panic. Police confirmed a worrying fact. She missed a critical appointment to induce labor. She never showed up at any other hospital in the area either. Now the family feels total despair. Savannah can't be reached. Matthew, well, he remains silent too. The couple disappeared without a single word or explanation. For them, that wasn't just strange. It felt terrifyingly out of character.
I went by there and knocked, and she wasn't answering.
Christmas arrived. Usually families gather, open gifts, feeling that warmth. But for Savannah's loved ones, this holiday marked the start of a nightmare. The Leon Valley Police Department didn't wait for a miracle. They issued a clear alert, just so you understand the gravity here. This specific alert gets used when adults vanish, suggesting a real threat of abduction or fatal danger. The bulletin held dry but vital details. 155 centimeters tall, brown hair, brown eyes, the main clue for the search. A gray 2013 Kia Optima with temporary Texas tags. That same day, officers tried getting into her apartment hoping to find something, but no luck, just silence inside. Instead of celebrating, family friends combed the area, checking every corner. Luck turned away from them, unfortunately. Their words break your heart. We love her, miss her, let her come home so we can have a Merry Christmas. But a Merry Christmas wasn't happening. To really feel the tragedy here, look at the backstory. Savannah grew up around San Antonio. Trouble had already knocked on this family's door. Just over a year ago, her younger brother Ethan lost his life in a violent incident. Imagine that level of pain for a mother. Losing one child, now not knowing where the other one went. Ethan was only 15. On December 8th, just weeks before his sister vanished, he would have turned 17. Savannah met Matthew, her boyfriend, back in school. She met him at 15 while he was 4 years older. A classic teenage story, maybe. Their relationship resembled a roller coaster for years. Breaking up, getting back together, eventually they decided enough games were played. They moved in together, then found out Savannah carried a baby boy. Right after news broke about the disappearance, her family flooded social media. Savannah's grandmother shared details that give you chills. She had the nursery ready, the crib waited. They even picked a name, Fabian, little Fabian. She said it plainly. This feels wrong. Something here doesn't add up. She has a point. I want answers. We all want answers. She's a good girl, helps anyone, relatives say, but here the story starts splitting. You see, disturbing notes appear. Other family members stop playing diplomacy regarding Matthew. Savannah's sister-in-law wrote a Facebook post sounding like a desperate cry. I won't let you become just another statistic of what happens when you have a partner who mistreats you. Think about those words. She basically accused him of mistreatment. I won't let this become your story. Your baby should be your wake-up call to leave for safety, she begged. Vanna, come home. But another side exists here. Matthew's mother spoke up too, although her Facebook post vanished quickly. As you know, we keep receipts. Screenshots don't disappear. Let me quote what she tried telling the world. Her version differs completely. I know my son. He wouldn't do anything to cause her harm. Her main argument? The hospital bags stayed at home. Savannah's purse sat there too. Who runs away willingly while leaving all that right before giving birth? Matthew's mother claims a neighbor heard Savannah calling out for help. In the morning, they saw the couple getting put into a Cadillac. Hold on. Police looked for a Kia, yet here appears a Cadillac. She writes, my son's phone went dead. As a mother, I know they were taken against their will. Then she drops perhaps the key piece of this puzzle. Because of what my son does for money. She insists it wasn't mistreatment, but jealousy from those who hate. Please help, she wrote. But what exactly does he do for money? The internet found the answer fast. You won't like it. In social media photos, Matthew poses with stacks of cash, holding weapons. Telegram screenshots float around, attributed to him, showing menus for various illicit substances. This stops looking like just a bad boy situation. It looks like dangerous business. Even Matthew's own brother admitted the guy had plenty of enemies.
All right, moving on to all the drug stuff, right? Has anybody seen his Telegram? This is just the surface of it, but December 21st, right? He posts on here, faves in tomorrow, place orders. Meaning, I guess, drugs. Whatever stuff he has coming in, it's in tomorrow, December 21st. Now, looking at the timeline, the very basic little timeline, December 22nd was Friday where they were last seen and it went missing. So the day before, Thursday, the 21st, he made this post. Here's some more posts. I don't know what the date of this was, but it says new cooking or new something soon. And then he has like all these like drugs or stuff there. The brother's video we'll look at again later. I think it's worth a watch. Here's again him offering, this is his account, Flacco's offering prices and money and all this stuff. And here are bottles of maybe, codeine. This video we'll take a look at. This is just somebody going through the guy's Telegram account, I guess the media post. So, I mean, there was a few people on social media making it seem like this guy was just selling some weed. I think it's a little bit more than that, bro. I mean, he does sell that too, apparently, but... And when you're making posts like this, I guess it's to advertise, but when you're making posts like this with all this money and guns and stuff that you have on you...
So, once the investigation flywheel regarding Savannah's disappearance, now Matthew's too, spun up to full speed, details from the guy's past started surfacing like dirt after rain. This reality completely crossed out his mom's sweet version, claiming he was non-aggressive. Let's look at the truth here. Matthew didn't just have problems. He had an entire record with law enforcement stretching back to 2021. They arrested him in March of 2021, then again in January of 2022. The reason remained the same: unlawful possession of a weapon. The guy clearly had an unhealthy passion for firearms. But the real red flag, one the size of a billboard, appeared on Christmas of 2022, exactly 1 year before this tragedy. Police arrested Matthew then, not for weapons, but specifically for hurting Savannah. It turns out Christmas for this couple wasn't a time for miracles. It marked an anniversary of conflict. It doesn't end there. They detained him again just months ago on August 1st, 2023, the full package. Reckless driving, another weapon charge, plus attempting to flee from police. You know the scariest part? At the moment pregnant Savannah vanished, he was walking free. He was out on bond. According to court papers, the system worked in a genius way. They allowed Matthew to see Savannah provided it wouldn't be, to quote the bureaucratic language, harmful or injurious. Seriously? Who was supposed to determine that moment of harm? He was supposedly signed up for a behavior modification program, but surprise, no one ever saw a single receipt or even an address for that agency. It was a ghost, not rehabilitation. So, it's no wonder Facebook groups or family pages exploded. It became an avalanche of accusations. People claimed he mistreated her for years, physically, mentally. Since details of that 2022 fight were sealed, the internet community started filling in the blanks. People appeared claiming to be neighbors. I have to warn you here. I can't verify these words, so keep your skepticism turned on, but ignoring this feels impossible. One comment from a probable neighbor just sounds terrifying. The person wrote, "I tried to save her, called 911. They called an ambulance because she needed urgent medical attention to close a wound." Think about that, medical attention for a wound. That witness described a classic cycle of a toxic relationship. Charges got filed, she left, but she returned. Sad to see she's back with him a year later, pregnant or missing, he wrote. The family tried intervening, tried isolating her when she was still a minor, but he hurt her almost every day. The neighbor claimed he even testified against him in court. If that's true, the 2022 arrest takes on a totally different color. Joni Sophia, Savannah's sister-in-law, didn't stay silent. She publicly tore apart Matthew's mother's post, calling it a complete lie. She stated Matthew got physical with Savannah even during the pregnancy. Obviously a very strong accusation, you might say, but it gets worse. In search groups, whispers started about the night they vanished. Rumors painted a scene from a thriller. Savannah allegedly ran down the street calling for help, begging strangers for a phone. But Matthew caught up to her. He dragged her back into the apartment. Why did nobody call the police? The answer kills your faith in humanity. Because it happened constantly. People just got used to the noise behind the wall. Again, these come from unconfirmed forum reports, but when you put these puzzle pieces together, an aggressive guy with a weapon, a pregnant girl, a missed birth, the picture looks ominous. Then hope broke. After days of searching, the thing everyone feared happened. On December 26, 2023, they found that same gray Kia Optima. Not somewhere far away, but just 3 miles from their home, parked at a different apartment complex. So close, yet so fatal. Savannah's sister-in-law wrote a short but terrible phrase on Facebook. "We found her. She is in a very, very bad state." Police gathered a press conference to put a period on it. Inside the Kia, they found 2 individuals who had passed away. Instead of little Fabian's birth plus a holiday dinner, the family received a double tragedy. "We were supposed to celebrate Christmas with her plus the baby." Those words sound like a verdict now.
All she wanted was that baby. I think she was meant to be a mom.
Soto's sister-in-law, Joanny Wasil, says when Soto missed her appointment to be induced Saturday, they knew something was wrong. Authorities issued a missing persons alert Monday. Wasil explains a tip through Facebook led them to this gray Kia.
Horrible. So confusing, so difficult.
That confusion and emotions boiled over at times as families of both Soto and Guerra waited for word from authorities. When Police Chief William McManus did speak, not much clarity was given.
It was a very, very perplexing crime scene. And detectives right now are looking at this as a possible murder, but we don't know for sure.
So, forensic experts believe their bodies remained in that vehicle for anywhere from 3 to 4 days. Just imagine that horror. While the whole city bustled around in a pre-holiday rush, buying gifts, they just stayed there, lifeless in the cold car. At the press conference, the police chief tried staying cautious, stating official identification was needed for 100% certainty. Bureaucracy, as always, lags behind grief, though Savannah and Matt's families already confirmed the worst. It was them. Many folks immediately thought of foul play, naturally, but what the police chief said next made everyone tense up even more. He called the crime scene perplexing as well as complex. You know when cops use words like that? When they feel shocked by what they saw, or when the scene just doesn't fit the usual mold. He gave 0 details. On the direct question about a weapon in the car, he simply stayed silent. That silence felt louder than any scream. Of course, the information vacuum instantly got filled by Facebook. Internet detectives started building their versions. Some looked simply chilling. Rumors circulated that Matthew lay in the front, Savannah in the back, both bound. It sounded like a thriller plot, but as it often happens, the truth turned out slightly different. Now, an important disclaimer. I want to be totally honest with you. This case has so much noise that separating fact from fiction feels like searching for a needle in a haystack. One detail, however, surfaced online, effectively demanding attention. A woman identifying herself as Matthew's cousin went live on Instagram, turning the story upside down. She claimed Matthew was in the back seat while Savannah sat in front. Here appears a detail that makes you feel uneasy. She said a car seat lay on top of Savannah while Matthew was found in a state that suggested, let's just say, extreme vulnerability regarding his clothing. This differed dramatically, a full 180 degrees from the first rumors. People in the comments tried arguing, proving he sat in front, but she stood her ground. As it turned out, she knew more than the couch experts. On December 27th, police finally broke the circle of silence. The official version confirmed the cousins' words. Savannah in the front seat, Matthew in the back. The cause? Both suffered a targeted fatal injury behind the right ear. It doesn't sound like accidental fire. It sounds like a calculated act. The most tragic part of this report? That dry line stating the unborn baby didn't survive the scene. I'm no medic. Frankly, I don't know the biological nuances of what happens to a pregnancy during such a tragedy, whether the trauma ended it or the child passed along with the mother. Thinking about it feels simply unbearable. That's a level of darkness you just don't want to look into. Right now, police classify this as capital murder. That's the heaviest accusation in the American justice system. It means the loss of life happened during the commission of another serious felony. Which one? We don't know yet. Could be a robbery gone wrong, kidnapping, maybe a dispute over illicit substances. The list of options looks long as well as grim. Separate pain comes from how they found the car. Not police, not drones, no patrols. Savannah's sister-in-law told the media she got a tip via Facebook from a random person. She drove there, saw the car, then saw the tragic aftermath. She didn't want to believe Savannah was gone until the very end. I don't want to believe she is no longer here. It hurts too much. She was my only daughter. Those words from a mother just break your heart. Official causes for Savannah, Matthew, plus little Fabian remain under investigation, but one critical fact might change everything. Reports say Matthew's mobile phone wasn't found in the car. Most importantly, the weapon disappeared too. If no weapon exists at the scene, that almost guarantees we rule out a self-inflicted scenario. Someone else was in that car. This someone took the weapon, then left.
She was shot. And all that was going through my mind was the baby. Is the baby still alive? What was she thinking? Was she crying out for me? As far as what happened to her, I think it has something to do with him and things that he was doing, not my daughter.
That's right. Law enforcement sources tell me that San Antonio police didn't find a firearm or the cell phone of Savannah Soto's boyfriend, Matthew Guetta, in the car that the pair were found in Tuesday afternoon. Sources also sharing that Guetta's body was found in the back seat of the vehicle, while Soto was in the front passenger seat with a child carrier on her lap. I talked to Guetta's family, who tell me everything that they did to find the expectant parents and frustrations with that process.
But once it was like the 2:30 p.m. mark, we started panicking.
Panicked and non-stop calling and racing home, racing over there and
calling police.
Gabriel and Raquel Guerra say they called 911 when they sensed their son and his girlfriend were in trouble. The husband and wife, who live in Bexar County, initially tried to file missing persons reports with the Bexar County Sheriff's Office. Soto's family, who live in San Antonio, tried to file with San Antonio police. But because Guerra and Soto lived in Leon Valley, the report had to be taken by Leon Valley police.
Well, I was told that they were trying to get the three agencies, all the information they had, and combine them into one report.
As this was happening, Gabriel says he was racing to his son's apartment, kicking down the door after he didn't get an answer, fearing the worst.
The candle.
The candle was on.
That was another sign that they had a candle on.
Gabriel says the lit candle and Savannah's diaper bag being left behind told them something was wrong. The house, he says, showing no signs of a struggle. Gabriel says he asked the Leon Valley police detective assigned to the case if they could track his son's cell phone location. He says a detective told him it was unlikely a judge would grant a warrant for that because there weren't exigent circumstances.
And he basically said they're adults, if they want to disappear, they can disappear. And again, I reminded him, the baby's overdue. It's been overdue. They missed their due date, and to me, that's a life-threatening. There should have been more urgency. I never knew a pain like this existed. You hear about a parent losing a child, and you're like, man, I can't imagine what they're going through. It's exactly how it is. You can't imagine it.
The couple expected to become first-time grandparents this holiday season.
Matthew's father and stepmother don't believe he was capable of hurting them.
Those are Savannah's and Matthew's and baby Fabian's.
Presents under the Christmas tree, serving as a reminder of the tragic loss of a growing family.
We still can't believe we're just never going to meet him.
Matthew's father, Gabriel Guerra, says the young couple was anxiously awaiting their baby's arrival.
We had to remind him on the baby shower to let Savannah open some of the gifts. Yeah. Matthew was opening all the gifts, so they were definitely both happy and excited.
On Saturday afternoon, when no one had heard from Savannah or Matthew, Gabriel kicked in their apartment door in hopes of finding clues.
That's when I saw Savannah's overnight bag that she had packed for the hospital that she didn't have with her, and that even threw me more into a panic.
Gabriel knows Matthew was arrested in 2022 for domestic abuse against Savannah and even suggested Matthew stay in custody longer.
They had contacted each other on the phone, and that was a violation, so they can please keep him in there. And unfortunately, it would have to be Savannah to say that, and she wouldn't do it, so eventually he was let out.
Domestic abuse charges were never filed again. Gabriel and his wife Raquel say the couple was inseparable and seemed happy. That's why they don't believe Matthew could have hurt Savannah, but they want to find who did.
It's got to be something personal. I mean, I don't know what kind of person could.
So, what the hell actually happened there? Let's put these dark puzzles together. Remember, Matthew's brother stated quite plainly, the guy had enemies. It wasn't just teenage disagreements. Even his own mother, in that emotional Facebook post, hinted clearly that Matthew was involved in something questionable. What he did for money. When you hear that, the conclusion comes by itself. Maybe he had rivals who decided not just to settle a score, but to end everything completely, along with everyone he loved. Some cruel revenge right before his son arrived. I don't know, but just thinking about that level of hate gives you chills. It feels like absolute, unthinkable harshness. But in the criminal world, unfortunately, that remains possible. We've seen crazier things, right? However, another version exists online. It takes us back into the past. Some folks believe this tragedy might be an echo of a fight that broke out in court back in October. During the hearing for Savannah's brother, Ethan, imagine that chain of conflict. Facebook groups whisper that Savannah, her baby, as well as Matthew lost their lives because of that courtroom clash. A dark vendetta? Again, I have to slow you down. That's just a guess. No hard evidence links those two events right now. Savannah's mother, speaking to CBS, voiced a theory that seems the most plausible, yet the most painful. She believes her daughter simply became collateral damage. She ended up in the wrong place at the wrong time. She said it straight. This clearly involved Matthew. Police gave us a clue too. At the last press conference, they released a video. A dark truck circles near the Kia. A person exits the victim's car. That frame looks like a ghost. They hope someone recognizes that silhouette or vehicle. If you know anything, call San Antonio police. Don't stay silent. I have no doubt this information vacuum will fill up with facts soon. I'll definitely keep you posted. Right now, though, most info remains just noise, rumors, or speculation. Anyway, the bottom line here brings total devastation. 3 lives gone. If the theory confirms Matthew was the target, think about it. If Savannah really just drove to the hospital to deliver her son, then her life ended because of someone else's disputes, because of her boyfriend's business. That elevates the tragedy to a new, unreachable level of horror. Thinking about it hurts physically. It's senseless, heartless. Hopefully they find the responsible party. They need to answer for every second of this family's pain, but details exist that won't let me rest. The weapon wasn't in the car. If this was a self-inflicted scenario, the weapon would stay at the scene. Weapons don't evaporate. Matthew's mobile phone wasn't found either. To me, that's the key moment. This is purely my thought, my analysis, but listen, whoever did this came for Matthew. Maybe they wanted to remove witnesses, so they ended all 3 lives, but the root of the problem lay with the guy. Why no weapon? Because the perpetrator took the evidence. Why no phone? Because it likely held digital footprints. Texts, calls, maybe an agreement to meet. It was a trap. The person responsible knew that phone held threads leading to them, so the phone vanished along with the weapon. Maybe I'm wrong, but considering the facts, missing weapon, missing phone, the strange position of them, it looks like a calculated removal, not a spontaneous argument. I'll watch every new turn in this case closely. This story shows the scariest trap often isn't a dark alley, but blind affection, the kind that makes you forgive the unforgivable. Savannah went back to someone who caused her pain. That mistake cost not only her life, but also little Fabian's who never saw this world. Now, right honestly, who is the real culprit in this tragedy? The cold-blooded individual who did it, or Matthew himself, whose dangerous games put a pregnant girl in harm's way? How do you feel about his mother's position, defending her son after everything, ignoring the history of conflict? Could you forgive something like that if it were your daughter? Why do you think Savannah returned to him knowing what he was capable of? Did you ever have similar stories? Share them in the comments. Let's talk about this together. If this story touched you, subscribe so you don't miss the next case. It will shock you even more. May Savannah Soto as well as little Fabian rest in peace. The book of Proverbs says, "He who walks with the wise grows wise, but a companion of fools suffers harm." That's a bitter truth. Take this story as a warning. Never ignore red flags in relationships. Don't think your love can change someone who chose a dark path. Run from danger immediately. A second chance might not happen. Now look at the screen. You see the next videos I prepared for you. Believe me, I worked just as hard on those. If this case shocked you, the next one will top everything you've seen. So we aren't saying goodbye. God bless you.